Okay, good morning, all of you. In today's lecture class, you are going to study about string, first of all, string and how you are going to handle different string. And similarly, you are going to also learn about how to create different files for the storage of the different data and how you are going to handle those files that you are going to study in this lecture class. Okay, first of all, you have already learned what is a string. Basically, string is what? Collection of different characters or letters that will represent certain data. And similarly, till now you have written many programs, but you haven't stored those data or the programs in anywhere, isn't it? That's why if you are using certain string or any kind of data, you have to use certain location in which you have to store those data. And for that you have to create what? Different files. That's why in this class you are going to learn how to create those files and how you are going to create or read different contents of the file that you are going to do in this lecture class. Okay, so altogether the topics to be covered are, first of all, what is a string and how you can create the string, and some of the examples you have already seen before, and more examples we will see in this lecture class. And similarly, next one, the methods for string operation. In the string data you can perform different operation. For that you can use what? Different built-in methods, and that you are going to discuss in this class for today. And similarly, next part is what? File handling. How you are going to handle different files, in which you are going to see reading a file and writing to a file. That means you are going to perform reading and writing operation to a file in this class. Okay, first of all, what is a string? You know, basically a string can be considered as a collection of one or more characters or letters which will be enclosed within double quotes. That means whatever data or the letters or the character you are using within double quotes, then it is said to be a string. And in other way also, a string can be defined as it is an array of the character. As you know, array is what? Collection of the same data or having same data type. So in array, if you are collecting different characters, then it can be also taken as a string. So in programming language such as in Java, normally strings are taken as an object. You know that whenever you are defining an string, you are using that as an object. And Java platform basically provides a string class for not only creating but for the manipulation of different strings. And another thing or another important part of string is what? String objects are normally what? Immutable. Immutable means the its content cannot be changed if you are inserting any data value to a string. That means whenever you are creating a string, it will hold certain memory location. For example, if I am defining a string, for example, a name, Ram, then a separate memory location will be defined for that string Ram. And similarly, if I am taking another string Hari, then it will take another memory location for storing that one. That's why if you are taking one variable, for example, string s equal to Ram, then that variable will point to what? Ram, where the that is the place or the memory location where the RAM lies. And similarly, if you are now doing str equal to now what? Hari, then now it will point another location. That means whenever string will be created, it will take another location for the storage. That's why string are normally what? Immutable. That means its value can be changed, but the whole content cannot be changed at once. So if you are creating different strings, they will not going to be replaced one after another. They will be separately kept in the memory, and whenever you are taking a variable to access that, only the location will be accessed for those values or the string. That's why string are normally said to be what? Immutable. That means its content cannot be changed once it is defined, but it can change its value, or it can point to different location. You can say like that also. But altogether string objects cannot be what? Changed. And the next part is how to create the string. You have already seen. Basically, this approach you have used before by using string literal. It is the most common and the easiest way to create a string, where you are going to define the value of the string literal just like the normal data. You have done what? For defining integer, what you have done? Int a equal to 5. Similarly, to create the string also, you have to use what? String str equal to abc, where you know that string is a class, that is the built-in class. It is not simple data types such like int, decimal, you can say float, or keta double. But this is what? A class. String is a class, and str is what? Object, or you simply you can take that as a variable which will store value what? ABC, and this value is within what? Double quote. This approach you have already used before. Now, the another part is, just like creating an object, you can also create what? A string by using what? New keyword. Now, string object by using new operator, you can create it just like the normal class you have created before. And by using several constructor, you can create what? A string. For example, from the character array, you can create a string. From the byte array also you can create a string, and other method are also exist over there like string buffer and string builder. That means there are so many ways by using that you can create different string, although the first approach is what? Most simplest and most used one. For example, here is shown what you have done here. First of all, in the first example, string str equal to new string abc. It is just like you have created a class before. First of all, string, a class. Str is an object. Now you have used what? New operator. And string is what? This is the constructor where you are passing what? String literal. That string value ABC within what? Double quote. Now it will create what? A string str with value what? ABC. That means this line and the top one, this line, using directly string literal, they works as the what? Similar way. And the next one is also by using character array, you can create a string like this. Character array, A equal to what? Different collection of the character. A, B, C. You know that for the character, you have to use single quote, and for string, you have to use what? Double quote. That's why you have defined here a collection, you can say array of characters. Now what you have to do? String str2, you are using the class name, and then just like object name and new string what? A. That means this is the similar as the previous one, but the difference is what? In the previous one you have passed abc within double quote, but in this case you are passing what? An array like this. That means a string can be defined in different way. Directly you can do like in the first case, or you can pass the string value to string constructor, that is second way. Or the third way, there is what? By passing character array to the string constructor like this. And other way also exists over there, just like this one, by using a string buffer, byte array, or the string builder, you can also create what? Different strings. And the next part is what? Length. I think you remember, basically you have used length in what? In case of array. In case of array, what was the use of length? Basically, in that case, to identify the size of the array, you have used what? Length. But remember, in that case, you haven't used what? Parenthesis. But in case of string, you have to use what? Parenthesis. Just remember, if you are using parenthesis, that means it is a method. But if you are not using, for example, if you are defining a array, then you have done what? A dot length, where length is the property of what? Array A. But in this case, length is what? Method. That's why you are writing what? A pair of parentheses over here. So the length is used to get the number of character that will be in a string. Just like in array, it will give the what? Number of character that is used within a string. So to get this value, length method you have to use. For example, you can see in this example. First of all, string yes is defined where ABC is passed. Now, if you are displaying as.length in SOP, that is system.out.println, then it will give what? How many numbers are there in the string? You can count over here. ABC, there are how many? 3 different characters. That's why as.length will what? Print 3 like that. That means it will just give the number of character that has been used in the string. For example, if you have given a sentence over here, then it will also count what? The number of character within that sentence. Just remember, space also will be character as what? A that will be also taken as what? Single character. Dot, comma, any type of character will be also what? Counted over here. That means space, any letters, any numbers that is within the double quote, those will be counted as the what? Number of character for that string. Okay, and the next are different operation that can be done in what? Java for the what? String. First of all, string concatenation. Basically, string concatenation means what? You are joining or merging the different string together. That is also known as what? Concatenation of the strings. And you have already seen for merging the string or concatenation of the string, you have used what? Plus operator, isn't it? For example, we have taken two strings s1 and s2, where s1 is new and s2 is what? Year, isn't it? Now if you are doing what? Another one, that is you are defining string and you are doing what? S1 plus s2, isn't it? Then what it will do? It will combine those strings. That's why new and year will combine and it will display what? New year, isn't it? And similarly, you can do same concatenation by using what? Concat method as well. In that case, what you have to do? You have to do like this. First of all, string s4 is defined, and what we have done here, you can see over here, s1 dot concat s2 means s1 is one string that is taking value new, and concat s2, that means this line will tell what? The compiler to concat s1 with what? S2. That means two string are there, s1 and s2. Now s1 will be merged or concatenated with what? S2. And if you are displaying that, it will also give what? The value new year, like that, isn't it? That's why you can use the simple operator like plus. You know that plus, if you are giving number to the plus operator, it will add, perform addition operation. But if you are giving the string value and you are using plus operator, then it will do what? Concatenation. And the same process can be done by using what? Concat method like this. So concat is used for what? Concatenating two string, for merging what? Two string. Okay, another one is what? Comparison. Now string comparison will be used in many cases. For example, you are using a form, there is username and password. Now what you will do? You will write your username and the password. If the username and the password are correct, you will enter to the system. Otherwise it will say what? You are not valid user, or there it will show an error such as what? The username or password is incorrect, like that. That means how it will be done? By using what? String comparison. That means in that case, what will happen? Your system will check what? First of all, username that you have entered is matching with the username that is stored or not. And similarly, the password is also will be compared to the what? Stored password. If those both are matched, then you will be valid user. Otherwise it will say what? Username or password is incorrect. In the similar way, here also we are performing the same task. Here are two ways. First one is by using equal to operator, you know that. And another one is what? Using equals method. First one, for example, you have taken here three different strings, s1, s2 and s3, where you are taking s1 equal to new, s2 equal to year, and s3 equal to what? Again new. Now if I am doing system.out.println s1 equal to s2, you know that you are using double equal to, that will compare what, those string s1 and s2. Now you can see s1 is new and s2 is here. Now what will happen, it will give what, either true or false value, you know that, isn't it? That's why now it will give what, false value. Now check for another one. We are doing what, using second method, that is using what, equals method. Then what it will do, system dot out println where s1 equals s2. Just remember, in all cases, most of the time what you will do, we will take one argument over here, dot method name, and another argument will be normally passed to the parenthesis like a method, isn't it, like a parameterized method. Here we have also done like that, s1 dot equal to s3, isn't it? Now you can see here s1 is what, new, and s3 is what, again new, but you can see what, there is small n. Then in that case what it will do, it will compare first of all n to n. Here it is capital N and another one is small. As you know, Java is what, case sensitive, that's why those will not be considered as equal, although ew are same, but one have capital N, another one has small n, that's why those are not what, equal. So in both cases it will give what, false. So equals method will do what, it will compare to a string. Basically those string will be what, case sensitive, and it will return true if both strings are what, containing the same characters in the same order, and it will return false otherwise. That means if there are certain changes or they are not matched, then it will return what, false. So for comparison you can use either a double equal to operator, or you can also use what, equals method like this. Okay, additional string method are also there, which will be defined in java.lang. What, string. That means java.language and the string class will contains all those method, and those are what, built-in method, and you have to just call them to use them. Okay, there are many other string method also, but we'll deal only with what, those method. First of all, caret. What is that? Just remember, name itself tells the meaning. Char at means what? Character in at. That means what location. So to extract a single character from the specified index, you are going to use what? Char at. That means you have to define a location, and in that location or index, which character there it lies, it will return that character. You can see example over it. What is there? First of all, we have taken a string as equal to what? Welcome. Now what we have done, system.out.println, we have displayed what, as.char1. That means as is the input string where you are going to see the character at position what, 1. Just remember, just like in array, in the string also you have to start with what, 0 index. That's why if you are passing 1 as the location index, then what it will do, it will start with 0, that will pointing w, and if it is pointing what, next is what, e, that is 1. That's why now it will display what, e. That means this represents what, location. That means the index you have to pass, and in that index which element or the character lies, it will return that one. For example, I have done s.char1, that's why it is returning what, 0 and 1, e. Now if I'm doing 5, then what will happen, it will count like that, 0 w, 1 2 3 4 5, then it will return what, m, isn't it? That is what, 6 character. And next one is what, contains. Contains means what, if a string contains another sub string or not. You can find the many examples, real life example I'm talking about, real life example of this one. For example, if you are uh, registering a form, then have you noticed or not, for example, if you are not writing @gmail.com or @certain hotmail.com like that, then do you think that will allow you to submit your document or the register you? No. That means it will check whether an email contains and certain power or not, isn't it? In the similar way, you can what, check that by using what, contains. That means you can find so many examples of this one. That means in case of contains, what it will do, it will check whether it contains another sub string or not, just like in email. In email there will be what, at the rate and certain pattern over there. If that is match, then email will be taken, otherwise it will give what, certain error, isn't it? And you can do same in the string case. Now how you are going to do? For example, we have taken what, two strings, s1 equal to new and s2 is equal to what, ew, isn't it? Now if you are doing what, printing s1 dot contain s2, now what it will do, s1 is new and s2 is what, ew. Now it will check what, ew is contained within new or not. You can see ew is there, that's why it will give what, true. For example, if I have done capital E over here, just before I have told Java is case sensitive, that's why although it will have ew, but if I am writing here capital E, then it will not give what, true value, it will give what, false value. That's why to give contains a true value, it should contain what, the same number of substring in the same sequence. If I'm writing here we, then it will also give what, false value over here. That means it will check what, the substring you are writing over here will be contained within what, that string or not, that will be checked. Another two parts, get characters and index of. Get chars means what, to extract what, more than one character at a time. If you have to take single character, you are going to use what, char at. But if you have to get what, more characters, then you have to use what, get characters. And another one is index of. Now it will do what, index of means what, you are checking the index or taking the index. That's why it searches for the first occurrence of a character or a substring in a string. If it finds a character or the substring, then it will give what, that index value. Now we'll see the example here. First of all, you can see we have taken the same string as equal to what, welcome, isn't it? And in case of get chars, now we are extracting more than one character. So to store that character, you have to use what, character array. That's why char c equal to what, new char 8. Suppose we are taking what, 8 size of character over here. Now if you are doing as dot get chars, then what it will do, first of all, as is the input, that is welcome. Get characters mean, you can see over here there have been used what, 4 parameters. Now what are those? First of all, you are right what, the beginning part, that means beginning index from which you have to take the character, and next one is the ending. For example, here you have been used what, 5. And c means what, where you are going to store that characters. You are taking more than one character and you have to store that in an array, isn't it? That's why we have taken c as the character array. And 0 is what, that is the appending part, isn't it? That is, we'll say that as what, how many characters you will leave over there, isn't it? First of all, now system.out println what, c. Now it will take what, certain character. For example, what it will do, first of all, we'll check here, isn't it? 1 to 5. 1 to 5 means what, it will start to extract character from 1 and it will into what, 5. That's why first of all, check over here. In place of 0, that is w. Now in case of 1, there is e, that's why it will start from e. Now that is 1 index, 2 index l, 3 index c, isn't it? 4 index o. But in 5 index there is m, that is it will not take 5th index, it will go up to what, before the before the ending index. That's why it will take from what, 1 to 4 and it will return what, elco, that is elco, isn't it? Now elco will be stored in what, c array, isn't it? And 0 is we'll say this as offset. That means in case of character c, from which location we have to store, this will be defined by what, 0. For example, 0 means what, first index. That's why this character elco will store from what, 0. For example, if you are writing here 2, then what will happen, elco will be stored from what, 2 index. That means 0 1 will be empty and from 2 it will store what, elco, like this. That means this is normally we'll say as offset. That means from which location of the destination it is going to store that part. If you are writing 0, then it will start from 0 index of c character array and store over there. And just I have given example here. If I am writing 2 instead of 0, what will happen, it will not insert any value to 0 and 1 of c. It will just start from 2 and it will store there what, elco, isn't it? In that case, if you are displaying c, then it will display what, elco part. Now Another what is what index of. Now what it will do, s dot index of me. Suppose you are taking me for that. Now it will first of all check where me lies. You can see here me lies over here. Now check the character of that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can see in fifth index m is there. That's why it will return what 5 like that. That means if you are writing a single character or more than one character, that is a string, then it will take what, where from which position or the index it is starting, that character, that will be written by what index of. Another one is replace. Name itself tells, isn't it? Replace means what, it is going to replace certain values with that. So to replace a string value with another one, you can use what replace, just like you are using what assignment equal to operator. For example, s dot replace what s comma visit. What it will do, s dot replace, it will take what as that string, and s comma visit means what, it will replace the value of string s by using what visit value. That means whatever in previous case it is storing what welcome, isn't it? Now it will be replaced with what visit. Another one substring. Now it will return a new string, that is a substring of what that string, isn't it? Now what it will do, for example given here s1 dot substring 5. Now what it will do, it is taking s1 as the string. Now from the fifth position it is going to take what all the substring, isn't it? That's why substring means what, now name itself tells, substring means a part of the string that you are going to take from certain index value. Another one to carry array. That means you are taking an string, and to convert all those character in a string object, then you have to use what to carry array. Here is given example, char ch equal to what s dot to carry array. Now it will do, what it will do, it will first of all create ch character, and now it will do what s dot to char array means now it will convert all the string of as a string to what character array, and it will store in what ch like that. Another one to lowercase and to uppercase. To lowercase, you know that lowercase means what a small letter, and uppercase means what capital letter. That's why to lowercase means what, it will convert all the string to what lowercase, and to uppercase means it will convert all the string to what uppercase. And for that you have to use like this, s dot to lowercase method or s dot to uppercase method like this. In this way you can use what different string methods. Okay, and you have seen most of the time in different creating application you have to use what string handling. For example, I have told you are checking username or password, you have to use that. Another one, you are doing what different validation tasks like at the rate email, isn't it? In case of email, at the rate sign is compulsory. If you are not writing, then it will not valid like that. There you can find so many examples where you have to use what string handling. Another part is what file handling, or we can say as IO stream. That means input output stream. Now what is that? You know, basically, okay, first of all I'll explain about three terms. You have heard program, process and file. First of all, program, you know, program is what set of instruction. Whatever you have to perform, you are going to write within a program. Another one is what process. Now process is what, if you have checked in task manager and you have seen there, you can see so many process which will be running in your computer. Another example I'll give, for example, you have seen that word icon, isn't it? You have installed MS Word and you'll see MS Word icon. If you double click that, then what will happen? And check in task manager, there you can see what word.exe like that. That means that is what process. So whenever you are running certain program, then it will create what process. I think you have understand. Program is just a collection of what instruction. Whenever you are going to execute that, that will create a what process. Now what is file? For example, you have written what certain, okay, you have written a file, you have written a program, then you have executed. For example, you have taken the user's name, then what will happen? Do you think next time you are running and you will get that username? No, it is not going to store over there. You are creating a process, you are running that, you are running a program, then you will give certain data, but those data will not be stored. And to store that, now you have to use what file. So all those program, if you are storing that within a certain hard disk or memory which is permanent memory, then it is said to be what file. That's why they are related. file, process, and what? Program. Program is static. You are writing certain collection of data. Whenever you are creating, executing that program, it will create a process. And if you are storing the same program within a certain what? Location of the permanent memory or secondary memory, now it is said to be what? File. So basically file handling is also a part of what? Input output stream. Now what is a stream first of all? Basically stream is what? Continuous flow of the data or the group of the data through which data will from one point to another. If you are using certain data, then it will be loaded from what? Your hard disk to your RAM or the memory, isn't it? In the similar way, stream will be defined as what? The flow of the data which will be flow from one point to another, from hard disk to your RAM or from RAM to hard disk, like that, isn't it? In the similar way, in the programming also, you'll take what? Different input, you'll give different output. For that also, you have to use what? Different streams. So a stream is an what? Abstraction that either produces or consume information. You know that if you are taking input, it will what? Consume the information. And if you are giving the output, then it will produce the what? Information. And basically it is linked to a physical device by what? IO system. I already told physical device means what? Memory, hard disks, isn't it? Or the secondary memory there will be. And Java implements stream by using what? Class hierarchy, which will be defined within what? Java IO package. Java input output package, within which what? All the file related content or the classes will be what? Stored. And in the figure you can see over there what is input stream and how output stream. You can see over there. Basically input means what? You are taking certain data from the data source to your program. That means reading. Simply we'll say reading and writing. Reading means what? Your data will be in certain part and your program is going to read those data. Then it will take what? Input stream. That's why from the data source, like a certain memory part, which will be normally hard disk, from the hard disk now you are going to read certain what? Data for the program. Then it is what? Input stream, which will be used for reading purpose. Another one is what? Program is generating a sequence of data and that will be stored in certain memory location. Now that is said to be what? Output stream. And truly it is said to be what? Write operation. In reading, you are going to take input stream, and in case of writing, you are going to take what? Output stream, like this, where the sequence of data, in this case it is showing what? Different binary data is flowing from either data source to program, that is input stream, or from the program to data source, that is what? Output stream. Now in case of file handling, basically in case of file handling there will be three steps. First of all, open the file. Now you are going to either read or write operation, then you are going to close the file. Then that's why whenever you are using certain file or you are performing read or write operation, then you have to perform what? Three operation while writing the program. First of all, opening the file. You have to open the file from certain location. Now you have to perform what? Read or write operation, whichever you want to do, and then you have to what? Close the file. And there are different way to handle the file. Basically three approach we'll use. Byte stream you have to use, or you can use the character stream also, or you can also use what? Buffer stream IO, isn't it? But you are not going to deal with all. We will only deal with what? Character stream. Character stream means what? We are taking each character at a time in a sequence to read or write a file. That's why it is said to be what? Character stream. So if you are have to read or write, single character will be read or single character will be write at once. So for that we are going to use what? File reader and the file writer classes. You can see here both file reader and file writer are starting from capital letter. That means those are the built-in what? Classes for reading file reader and for writing file writer. And there may be certain failure or the error that may arise. Then in that case you have to use what? IO exception. IO exception means what? Basically exception means what? Erroneous condition. That means, for example, you are going to read the file but there is not any file to be read. Then what will happen? Computer will give what? Certain exception over the error, isn't it? Those are the error condition. For example, you are going to write a file but no file you can find over there. Then again it will give what? Error. Another one, you are reading from a file but nothing is written over there. Then it will also what? give certain exception. Then such, to handle such type of exception or the error, will use what? Input output exception. That is what IO exception class you are going to use over there. Okay, how you can do that? You can check in this example. Look over here. Okay, first of all, import java io dot what file reader. What you have to do, we have already told, to read a file you have to use file reader, to write a file you have to use a what? File writer. So in this first example, what you are going to do, you are going to reading a file. There is certain file, now you have to what? Read that. Then what it will do, import java.io dot what file reader, you have to import that. Another one is what? Java io.io exception. Both are lying within what? Java dot input output io, isn't it? Java io.io exception, if any mistakes over there, then to handle that you have to use what? IO exception. Now you are defining the class public class reading file. Now another part is what? Public static void main string args and throws IO exception. This part is new for you. If you have checked this properly, there is written what? Throws IO exception. Throws means what? Now this is a part of exception handling which will be taught to you in the next classes. In other classes you are going to study about that one. Now basically you have to understand that what IO exception will handle what? If any kind of exception or the error, small error which can be managed by the compiler occur, then to handle that we have to use what? Throws like this. That means whenever different exception, like I have already told, file not exist or file is empty, or the location in the defined location the file is not there, in those cases what? It will handle those exceptions. Now you have to read the file. So first of all you have to use what? File reader. You have to create the object for that. What you have done here, you can see here, file reader in equal to new file reader what? And the location. That means what it will do, first of all, file reader is a built-in class that is used to read a file. Then in, for taking input, we have defined an object for reading. And new file reader, you know that what it will do, new is the operator which will create what? The memory location or the object for this one. And file reader is constructor where you have passed what? The location. For example here what? D friday.txt. That means in this drive, in this location what? Friday.txt file will be created. You know .txt means what? That is the text file which will be that what? Notepad file, isn't it? That file will be what? Created with name Friday in what? D location. That means whichever you feel or whichever you look you require the location, that location you have to pass over here. Now next one is what? Character int c, isn't it? You are defining c character. Now the next part is while c equal to in.read not equal to -1. The new thing is over here. Now what it will do, now check here. First of all, c equal to in.read means what? C equal to in.read. First of all, c is what? Integer data equal to in.read. In means what? That is the object that has been created for what? Reading the file. Now read means what? It will read that file from location that what? Friday.txt from location D drive. Now it will take each character and that will be inserted into what? C. Now not equal to -1 means what? You know this is the condition here, isn't it? C equal to in.read. You are first of all writing each character over here and you are also checking that is equal to -1 or not. That means two operation has been done in what? Single line. First of all, c equal to in.read. It will do what? Each time it will take what? One character in it and store that will be stored in C, and it will check what? Is it -1 or not? And just remember, here you are checking it with -1. Now what is -1? Basically in program like what? File handling, -1 means what? That is end of file. End of file means what? You will write a file, whenever it will end, that will be represented by certain character, isn't it? Certain number you can say in this case. That is what? -1. Now why you have to use end of file? For example, you are writing a file, but you can, if there is not use any end of the file, what will happen? The program cannot identify whether your file is finished or not. So to check whether the file is finished or not, you have to use what? End of the file. That is what? -1. So whenever this C is not end of the file, what you have to do? You have to display that. That's why in SOP, that is system.out print, Just remember, not here println. This is what print. You have used what C and the character, isn't it? Now you can see normally you can understand here one thing, that is what, first of all, in Java, in case of data type, you have already learned in Java basically character and the integer will be taken as what, similar in Java, isn't it? That's why first of all here whenever you are going to read or write, first of all it will read or write using what, integer. But to display you are not going to use the what, integer. Here you can say each character will be taken as what, integer. But in this case what, if you are displaying and you are not writing character here, then what will happen, only the number will be displayed. Just wait, I'll show you in the example also, I'll show you demonstration for this. This will do what, it will convert each integer to what, character, and display that. And you have to close at the last. That means you have already seen in the before example, to whichever you are going to do, you are performing the task, read or write. In that case you have to perform three operations: open, read and write, and then close. Here in this case also, first of all what, you are opening that, isn't it? Then you are what, reading or writing. Here you are reading, here you can see here in.read, you are reading, and now you have to close. For closing the file you have to use what, in.close here, isn't it? Like that. Similarly you can do writing as well. First of all I will show you the demonstration of this one. Okay, okay, for example reading the file, the same program is here, you can see over here. uh, First of all, file reader who have called, IO exception who have used, reading the file class name who have given, and you have used what, for handling the errors. You have used what, throws IO exception, which will be dealt in what, other classes also. Now you have defined what, file reader, an object is created by using sort in location. Here I have defined what, C users and my username and desktop and sample.txt. Now this file will be what, read, and I have used C, and just you have seen before, C equal to, you are going to read the file from this one, this location, and you are going to compare what, this sign is what, not equal to, you are comparing it to what, -1, which is end of the file. That means it will take each character in C until it is getting what, -1 or end of the file, and character C will what, display this one. Okay, I'll just demonstrate this one. For example, I am creating next new what, text document with name what, sample.txt, sample. Okay, what I am doing here, I am creating a sample file like this, isn't it? This is sample.txt. Now I am writing here, hello everyone, and now I am saving this one, save, isn't it? Now if I'm doing what, this one, now compile and run, I'm running this one, what it will give, it is giving what, hello everyone. Okay, the output is coming from the previous output also, I'm clearing this one. Now again I am doing execution, then what it will do, wait main, now it is displaying what, hello everyone, like this. That means whichever or whatever you are writing in this text file, isn't it, that will be displayed in what, your console part. This is what, reading from the file. Now before I told why to here write character. For example, I am not writing here character, I am writing here C only. What will happen, now check, now compile first of all, now run this one. Now what will happen, what is here, you can see only numbers, isn't it? Like this, see, you can see hello every from one from the previous output, and you can see here 7210 like this. That means what, this is what, this is numbers. Now how sometimes you are getting certain character, sometime getting numbers, why, the reason is this system, because if you are using C for display, C is what, integer. That's why if you are displaying that, then it will give what, ASCII value. You know, ASCII value means for each character there will be certain what, numeric value. For example, for capital H the ASCII value is what, 72. For capital for small e the ASCII value is what, 101, like this. That means these are what, ASCII value. But if you are doing here what, character, isn't it? If you are writing here character, then what will happen? It will convert C number, ASCII number to what? Character. Now it will do what? It will display the correct output. For example, compile and then run. What will do now? It will now show the output like before. Now hello everyone like this, isn't it? Clear. Now if I'm again executing that, then it will give what? Like this output. You can see that means you are reading the file. That means normally this is what? Conversion. This will say as typecasting. You are changing casting. That means you are changing integer to what? Character, isn't it? That's why whenever you are taking certain integer, that will be converted into character like this. And just remember, system will read or write always in character, not character, that is in integer value. That's why you have to first of all take integer value and you have to convert that integer value to what? Character like this. Okay, another one also example we'll see, writing a file. You can see over here how you can write. Just reading file, you are reading the file, you have seen the example. Now we will see also another example for what? Writing, how you can write to a file. Now you can see over here. First of all, you know, we have used over here java.io.asterisk. That means whichever file you have required, that will be used over here, isn't it? And in that case, you can also use what? File writer. You know, you can call the file writer class over here. Now java.util.asterisk. This is for scanner. Just remember what we have done over here. We have taken the input from the user and that will be written to the file. This program will do that. First of all, what it will do, it will take user's input. Now after that, what it will do, it will write that content to a file. So we have defined class writer name over here, and just like previous, public static void main throws IO exception. Now to use scanner, to take input, you know, we have to use the scanner class. Scanner as equal to what? New scanner, where you have to pass what? System.in. Now we have displayed a prompt, enter the text to the file, and now you have store that in what? String my content. That's why string my content will hold what? Whatever you have written. For taking the input, you have used what? Next line, that will be stored within that. Now to write to the file, we have used what? Curl a file class. File is a class and that will create that will what? Take a file over here. For example, file equal to new file. This is creating the object file where you have defined a location. For example, C users Roshan desktop. That means this is the location, and I have taken one example, friday.txt. That is the name of the file where it will be written. And now the next operation is this block. What you have done over here, if file doesn't exist, you know, this exclamation sign is what? Negation, isn't it? File doesn't exist. If the file doesn't exist, then you have to do what? File you have to create over there. That means if the file is already there, you haven't created that one. But if the file is not there, you have to create that. For that, you have used what? This block, isn't it? This block will first of all check what? Your file exists or not. If the file doesn't exist, it will create what? File, this friday.txt file in what? This C users username and the what? Desktop location. Now the writing operation you have to do. What you are going to do over here, file writer fw, you are creating an object with name fw, and new file writer where you are passing two parameter over here. One is file, another is what? True. Now what is the use of true? I will demonstrate and I will explain later. Just remember, file is the location of the file and true I'll explain later. And now you have to write over there. This will only create a file, isn't it, for writing the file. Now what you have to do, you have to write those my content within that file. For that you have to use what? Write method. Read for reading and write for writing. fw.write my content. Now this line, what it will do, it will insert my content, whatever you have taken input, that will be written in the what? File, that is fw file, which is already defined. And now we are showing what? File written successfully, that message, and at the last you are what? Closing the file. Now how it is going to run, I'll show to you. Okay, first of all, okay, writer, here it is the class, isn't it? I'm compiling and then I'm what? Executing. Just remember, in the desktop you cannot see friday.txt, but if I'm doing what? Execution, what will happen? First of all, it will ask enter the text to the file. For example, I'm writing what? Happy new year, isn't it? Now, and then I am what? Entering. What will happen? You can see now here. Friday.txt. It is now what? Created. Now you can see there what? Happy New Year. That means what it has done? First of all, it checked for what? This Friday.txt. And do you think here is Friday.txt? No. That's why it is what? Creating that file. And whatever I have written in the console, now it is going to what? Write in that file. Isn't it? For example, I am again re-executing that. Enter the text to the file. I'm again writing certain file. Hello everyone, just like before. Hello everyone. Hello everyone, like this, isn't it? Now, what it will do? Now, file written successfully. Now, I will check friday.txt. What is here? Happy New Year, I have written previously, and hello everyone, just I have written later, isn't it? Now, in the previous program, for example, there was true, isn't it? What I am doing? True, I am doing, and I'm saving, I'm compiling, and then running. What will happen? Okay, just check here. Friday.txt, what is there? Happy New Year. Hello everyone. I have written there, isn't it? Now I will write another content. For example, this is a new day. First day. Okay, a, this is the first day in this year. I've written this one and enter. File written successfully. Now I will check this one. What you over here? This is the first day in this year. That means whatever I have written previously, can you find over here? No. For example, I'm writing another thing again. Just check over here. I'm running that one. I'm writing another one. Okay. Hello. Okay. I'm writing hello only. Now what will happen? You can see file written successfully. Now again I'm opening that. Now hello. That means what will happen is, if you are not writing here true, what will happen? All the content, new content will replace what? Previous one. That means that will be overridden. We'll say that overwritten, isn't it? That means once you have written, if you are not writing there true, what will happen? The previous content will be erased and that will be replaced by the new one. Again, I am doing the same. New information will what? Override the previous one. But if I am writing here true, then what will happen? Then it will append to the previous one. That's why true allows to append the data. Otherwise, what? The data will be overridden, isn't it? That's why you have to use what? True over here. That's why if you are using true, the new content will be append over there. That means it will add those data to the file. But if you are not using that, what will happen? It will content like this. Okay, like this you have seen what? You can perform what? Different read and write operation over there, isn't it? That means file can be also created, and the similar way you can also write the different content over here as well, like this. Okay, in the today's class you have seen what? How to handle different string and how to create and write certain content within a file. You have seen that one. For further more examples, we'll see that in our what? Tutor and the lab classes. And if any question, you know that you can write in the chat form or you can ask in the Google Class as well.